Hello, and welcome to another episode of Masters and Mentors. I am your host, Lee Forrester, and today we're talking about some people's favorite subject, a lot of our favorite subject, and that's money, money, money. We are here with Afiya Ricks, a financial coach, and she's going to tell us about her journey to personal and professional success. Hey, Afiya, how are you?
I'm amazing. How are you? I am so excited to talk to you today, Amber. Thank
Me
you.
too, because you know what? Like a lot of times we are like, we want money, we love money, but we don't always know what to do with our money. And one of the things that I was so excited about speaking to you about today is the way that you've made a living out of teaching people, guiding people on what to do with their money and making responsible decisions. So before we get into all of the jewels that you're going to share with us, will you tell us what you do as a financial coach and what you love most about what you do?
Okay, great. I love the question. So what I do is I help people in various areas of their finances see where they are and set up a plan and set up goals and dreams and literally set it up financially so they know the numbers to get to where they're going.
Let's talk about your professional journey. How did you end up becoming a financial coach? Did you always know that you wanted to be a financial coach? Did you say there's a need for this and you ended up in this space? Will you just tell us a bit about your pathway?
Hopefully people can relate to this. I am the normal person that didn't know anything about money. I graduated from college. You just get your first job. I was in Massachusetts, so it was Boston or New York. I chose New York. We all know what the cost of living is in both places. You take the job, and then voila, everything's just supposed to happen. Because I also grew up in a normal household where you don't talk about money. So I got into financial services purely by accident, and I would say, and as a blessing, I was actually about to get evicted. I was making $25,000. I was working in advertising. I was going to the Vogue and Sports Illustrated parties in Bryant Park, getting limos home, but I couldn't even pay my rent. So I knew I needed to make some extra money. So an alum from my college, she worked at Paine Webber at the time, but she basically said, come in, come learn some information, come make some extra money. And that's how I got into the wonderful world of finance. And I really just was doing it to make some extra money. And then she told me, well, you're not going to be here just to shuffle papers. I want you to learn the information. She told me, go into these meetings that they're having, go sit in, take notes, bring some information back to me. And so that's honestly how I got into financial services by accident. And I stayed because there were no women, there were no people of color, there were no young people. And so I was like, you know what, let me just stay long enough to get the information, because how else am I going to get this information? Because I don't know anyone else who has access to this.
What are some of the transferable skills for you that you took from your other professions into this one? And I keep kind of question stacking for you, but they go together. So hopefully this is all coming together for everybody. What are some of the transferable skills for you? And then what are some skills that you believe people need to have if they too would like to get into financial services?
Okay, great. Good question. So as you can tell, one of the characteristics that I have, and I got this one from home. So this is a skill that everyone can get, which is resilience. And resilience comes from failing over and over again and not getting too emotionally caught up in the failure, because I don't care what failure it is, it just doesn't feel good. So there were certain things that I realized if I wanted to live in the center of the world, which is New York, I have to make sacrifices as well. So those were some of the skills. And then also through like having a job and just going to college and early in life, I just study wealthy people and I study people who are successful. So I always knew I had to wake up early. Sometimes I'm not even doing anything, but just the act of waking up early and being aware and making time for yourself, those were some of the transferable skills, and especially that last one. that I needed in financial services.
First, I want to talk about financial services and financial coaching and ask you just to give a kind of lay of the land understanding, because I know we've talked about your journey and you mentioned working on Wall Street, and what you do now is not necessarily maybe considered on Wall Street, or maybe it is. So if you can give us some clarification around financial services and financial coaching. And then you mentioned your boss, and I look at you as a boss and you lead a team. So after we talk about that, I want to leave some room in our conversation to discuss, are you a professional? Are you an entrepreneur? And kind of what is the structure of the way that you're able to offer your financial coaching in a way that supports you, pays your bills, but also, plugs into maybe a larger machine?
Perfect. Financial services is overall an industry. So it's the industry that I'm in, kind of like, advertising or medicine or things like that. So financial services is like the sector, if we're going to talk finance, the sector that I work in. Financial coaching is the role that I play in financial services. So as a financial coach, I take products and services from different companies, and I don't want to name any because they're not paying me right now. But I take different products and services from major companies that a lot of you guys know, and I place them based on the need. So I have people who want to see me show them their debt and show them how quickly can they get out of debt. And I love that part because I show them how quickly they can get out of debt, how much interest they would save if they follow the plan. Once they finish paying it off, if they take that money and put it towards retirement or a future goal or dream, what that could potentially be worth. So I help people in debt. I also help people with life insurance. I think a lot of people understand the concept of life insurance, but they don't understand the different types. And I think there's some people out there that actually don't feel that they need it because they don't really know what it is. And then I also, my longest license that I've actually had is my investment license. I'm Series 7, Series 63 licensed. I use it as a 6, which allows me to invest for people in mutual funds. So that means they can open up IRAs, or they can open up 529 college savings plans, or just a general investment account for, buying a home or something later, or some type of goal, opening a business. So those are the things that I do as a financial coach. If you think about what a coach does, is they help you come up with you tell them what you want. They help you come up with a plan to get you wherever it is that you want to go. And you guys work as a team together, not just my input, but the person's input as well as the player. And then we enact a plan, and then we follow up, and then there's checkpoints. So usually every 6 months to a year, we check to see, okay, so where are you and where did we get to? And what can we adjust and do to make this get to the goal faster? Or do we need to make some adjustments, and how long is that going to take, and add to the plan that we've already created?
What advice do you have for anyone who's interested in entering into the financial services or financial coaching in this day and age as we step into 2024 and beyond?
There's a couple of things. Number one, don't believe everything that you see online and on social media. It'll get you in trouble, because the thing about it is, when you're regulated, there's certain things that you can say. So a lot of people will say, you know what, I'm thinking about getting into financial services, and I heard, and I'll say, oh, okay, cool. Where's the source of where you heard it from? So with that said, I would say find a mentor in financial services, but find a mentor that's licensed. Now, one thing I don't do is like accounting, right? And there's a degree for that. So if you're interested in going into accounting, don't go to the person that just does taxes. Like, go to the person that's been in account for a long period of time. Formal education isn't everything, but make sure that they're licensed or have the certifications in the area that you're going to get mentored in. And I think the best thing that you can get in a mentor is someone that will structure their life to make some time to teach you. Make sure you do some research on your own, obviously, but just check the source of where you're getting information. There are some really powerful places that you can get some really good information and some bad information.
Thank you for sharing that with us today and all of the jewels that you shared. To me, it sounds like it's something that's definitely worth giving it a try, and I might even consider doing so. So, Afiya, we will definitely put your information in the closing down in the captions for everyone to check you out and to find you. But thank you for all of what you shared with us today, and keep shining, keep making money, and keep helping people along the way.
This was fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for all that you do.